Robert Menendez is a Democrat from New Jersey. He's a member of the Senate's Gang of Eight, which crafted the legislation. Senator, I made reference to the fact that there'll be 20,000 new border agents. Someone has noted that that's one every 1,000 or so feet. What else is left to offer to accommodate those in the GOP-controlled House? I thought security was their beef.
Well, it certainly was one of the critical elements that got us to 14 Republican votes in the Senate. It's the most significant border protection efforts. You know, we're willing to listen to the House's views. We'd love to see them take our bill. It was created through bipartisan compromise. It had bipartisan votes. Over two-thirds of the Senate voted for this legislation. So we look forward to the House meeting the same challenge that we met in the Senate and responding to the American people's desire to see immigration reform.
House Speaker John Boehner isn't impressed by the Senate vote. This is Speaker Boehner earlier today.
The House is not going to take up and vote on whatever the Senate passes. We're going to do our own bill through regular order, and it'll be legislation that reflects the will of our majority and the will of the American people.
And the Washington Post reports, quote, House Republican Deputy Whip Peter Roskam said Thursday morning the Senate immigration bill likely won't come to a vote in the House, labeling it a pipe dream. The House has no capacity to move that bill in its entirety, he said. Are there areas of reconciliation, areas of agreement between that which they envision and what you've already passed, or are you just not sure what they have on their mind?
Well, look, I'm not sure what they have in their mind. And look, the House can have its own process. We'll get to it. I'd like them to take up our Senate bill. As I said, it's bipartisan, strong vote. The Speaker may not be impressed, but we rarely get 60 votes in the United States Senate these days for any momentous piece of legislation and anything that might be considered controversial. We got 68. That's more than you need to ratify a treaty for the United States. So it's an incredible vote. We respect the House's process. The question is, does the House leadership want to get to yes? Does the House leadership agree that is one of the core elements of immigration reform? In addition to security, there must be a pathway to citizenship. And if the answer to those are yes, then we can ultimately get to a bipartisan bill that we can pass in both houses and send finally to the president. I hope that the leadership in the House, particularly on the Republican side that controls the majority, will allow the House to truly work its will, because if you insist on a majority of the majority, as Speaker Boehner has said, that is a minority of the House of Representatives, and a minority should not dictate the future of millions of lives of people in this country, the security of the nation, and the prosperity of America.
Thank you, Senator Robert Menendez.